in. Okay, let's try this one more time. Just setting up really quickly here. Okay, we are setting up. So there's no rush. Let's see here. I don't see. Let's see here. Let's see. Just getting ready here. Okay, cool. All right. So we are just setting up. We're going to go through our budget and we're going to just make sure everything is making sense and that we're doing what we need to. Let me see. I'm experiencing lag. I'm experiencing some lag here. Let's see. Okay. All right. All right, let's work on our budget. So I've already got some of my stuff written out. So I am expecting 2 paychecks in April for a total of $4,971.97. I've already gotten some interest in my high yield savings account of $89.53. So we're in pretty good shape here. I mean, last month was a crazy income month, so seeing a normal number again is kind of a downer, but that's just part of the game. Let's see. Just gonna open this up here, move some things around kind of, just so that we have some room. My salt lamp there. All right. So just really quickly, just looking at my goals, it's not necessarily where I expected it to be. I did reach my 30,000 savings goal, and I'm approaching my invest 12,000 goal, even though the stock market is completely wrecked right now. My no miscellaneous spending over 400. I did the math and I'm still under per month. So I think I can actually finagle a way to keep this at 400, around that much per month, and getting to only 4,800 at the end of the year, but we'll see. And then becoming monetized on YouTube, that still has not happened yet. We're just trusting the process with that. So let's just get on with it. Let's go to April. And for my goals this month, honestly, my biggest goal is to spend less than I spent miscellaneous in March. So that's going to be a goal. Spend less than I did in March. Do you like my new pen, by the way? It's a koala. Pretty cute. My second goal is going to be saving $2,500. I just want that to be my ongoing number. So I want to always strive for 2,500. And then my third goal is honestly to keep miscellaneous spending at or below $400. Now I've already spent like 150, unfortunately. Already spent 150. So I think though that I'll be able to keep it at or below 400. This is me just being realistic. So that's where we are. I'm just going to add some of these numbers here. Let's see, January, February, March, April. So there's 30 days in April. So I'm just going to add that. 3, 4, 5. And, I'm going into this month feeling optimistic, feeling very I don't know how to explain it. I had a hard March in terms of just work. My deliverables were kind of intense, and we're just now getting out of the craziness that is the work world. So I need to kind of recover and see where things go from here. 28, 29, 30. Okay. So we have 30 days in April. My birthday is on the 23rd. I'm going to be 32, you guys. So even though it is my birthday month, I'm still going to try to not spend so much money. I'm still going to try. So I do get paid, like I said earlier, I get paid twice this month. So I get paid on the 10th and I get paid on the 24th. So I just like to put some stickers here, whoops, to indicate when I get paid. So that's what these are. And then, I mean, this accidentally came out. So I'll just, this looks like bills though, right? So do this. I get paid on the 10th and the 24th, which also means on those days I have groceries as well. So I like to sometimes put the grocery sticker in there as well, just so that it's kind of a reminder that, you know, when I get paid, I also have to get groceries, which is fine. So we're doing that, and it's payday. So let me grab a payday sticker for April here. Yeah, put one right there. Okay. And like I've stated so many times, my budget for groceries every week is $125. $125. And I also like to save on my paydays. So on the first payday, because it is like my non-rent check, which means I can put more towards saving, I save more. So I usually try to save $2,000 for the first check, just save. And then for the second check, I try to save $500. And so that's what I'm going to try again. Now, I do have some social time planned as well for the month. And that is going to incur cost, but I already kind of bought like tickets, and my group of friends are very financially responsible. So we don't necessarily splurge like that, right? So I'm not necessarily worried that I will be spending money when I don't want to. If anything, yes, there's been times I've gone out and I haven't spent any money. So there's that, but I am going to, I don't know if it's a play or a symphony on the 9th. I'm just going to say it's a play with friends. And then on the, is it the 14th as well? There is a meetup with friends, and it's like at a venue. So that's going to be fun. Um, looking forward to that. And let's see. Like I said, the 23rd is my birthday, so I'm going to put that there as well. And yeah, I mean, I don't have too much planned, but I have some stuff. So because it's getting, you know, hotter outside, and the outside is just opening up again, and that's the fun that I've always liked to do. Um, I find it hard to, I don't know, I'm just not into like indoor activities per se, because it always to me requires you to spend money, and I just don't want to spend money. Like I like going outside, going on hikes, going on walks. That stuff isn't necessarily, you know, um, requiring us to spend too much money. So I do have one more thing planned with my husband this weekend. We're going to the Tulip Festival up in Skagit County, which apparently is a really big deal. And I didn't know that. So we're going to be going there this weekend. And we don't usually like do things like that, but we ended up renting a car and we're going to go out there, and it's super fun. So we're going to be out all day tomorrow. And I think also I'm going to look into some hikes I think this is a better happy birthday sticker. Let me just add that since I will be 32 again on the 23rd. I'm going, let's see, I'm just looking for some stickers that will go well with, like, not necessarily a summery vibe, but with what we're doing this weekend. Just something that represents flowers. I'm guessing, I mean, this is a flower, so I'll use this sticker because on Saturday we're going to the Tulip Festival, and I love living in the Pacific Northwest. Festival. Sorry. I love living in the Pacific Northwest because it just, when it's hot out, it just comes alive. The 22nd is actually my brother's birthday. Yes, we were born 2 years and 1 day apart. Um, so his birthday is the day before mine, which is great. So I just got to remember to wish him a happy birthday as well. And that's all I have planned so far. Every weekend, I kind of like to stay in unless my friends want to hang out. But yeah, this weekend, outside of like going to the Tulip Festival, like tonight, we're gonna just stay inside. Me and my husband maybe play video games, watch some anime. I cut up a charcuterie board right before this live, so that is going to be fun. I look forward to it. We splurged a little bit there, which is why earlier I said that I ended up spending like around $150. Charcuterie is very expensive, and I wasn't necessarily aware of that. So let's move on to what my budget is going to look like this month. So again, for income, we did have, these figures that we're expecting. Now, there are some changes that I initially told you guys that might not actually take place anymore. So, the first change that might not take place, that's not taking place, is my rent increase. So, when I first got the notice that it was time to renew our lease, they had the terms and then the rent increases in there. And initially, it looked like we were going to have a $300 rent increase, or yeah, like a 100, yeah, a $300 rent increase. When my husband went to talk to our leasing agents just about renewing our lease, they offered to only raise it $40. So my husband said he's just going to pay that extra $40, which means my rent is actually not going to increase, thankfully. So my living expenses should stay the same, which I'm truly grateful for. I really was mentally prepared to pay $1,450, but if we're only gonna keep it at $1,300, I am so grateful. So I'm just gonna write down some categories here. So I have living, self-care, miscellaneous. We have pets. And last month was a very expensive pet month. So this month, we're hoping that it won't be, just because we don't have to take our dog to the vet this month. And then we have entertainment, and then sinking funds. So that's investments plus high yield. I'm just going to say HYSA and investments. Okay. So then also for income, we have bank interest or high yield saving interest, which, as I told you, I've already received. So that's this $89.53 here. So I've already gotten that, which is pretty substantial. Like, it's getting higher and higher as I add to my savings. And that can actually pay, I think, my electric bill. It can pay our internet bill, or I think it could pay my phone bill. Like, the interest that me and my husband both get in our respective savings accounts can pay our whole phone bill. It's crazy. So I'm looking forward to seeing that grow if interest rates in general in America go up. So we'll see. So I'm expecting two paychecks this month. Usually it's around 2458 and 2423. But another change that I mentioned maybe 2 or so videos ago, is that I did get a raise. So, um, I'm not sure what my income's actually gonna look like because the raise does show it's gonna show in April. So I think the next check that I get on the 10th is gonna be with that raise in mind. So we'll see how much it changes just because my overall raise was about $2,400. So if anything, it might just change like $100 a month. Who knows? Like 50 extra dollars per check. We'll see. But I'll take it, right? So for living, we have rent, Orca, grocery, and electric. And then self care, we have beauty and, whoops, we have beauty and yoga and blog. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't gone to yoga in like 2 weeks because I've been really struggling just with juggling work and just trying to preserve my mental health. I'm not gonna lie, it's been crazy. So for miscellaneous, we have fun money, which I'm gonna budget again. Whoops, $400 for that, and then I'm not gonna budget anything else. I'm not gonna budget anything else. So I'm just gonna budget $400 for fun money. For self care, for beauty, I think I usually do $45. Yes, blog is $5. So this is $45, $5, and yoga is $139. Electric went down again, so I already have that bill, but I'm not paying it until I get paid. But last month, as you guys saw, it was over $70, like $70.64. But this month, I'm gonna budget it for 60 again because I think it came out to like $58. For grocery, I'm gonna budget $250, and Orca, I'm gonna budget $20. And rent, again, I'm going to budget $1,300. So that is a total of, let's see, we've got 1,300 plus 20 plus 250 plus 60. 1,630 is what I'm budgeting for living expenses. For self-care, let's do that next. So you have 45 plus 5 plus 139. That's $189 even. And then for miscellaneous, I only am budgeting 400. I'm not going to budget anything else for miscellaneous. For pets, I'm going to say miscellaneous pet, and I'm going to budget $100 because something always comes up for our dog. For our cat, my husband actually pays for all of our cat's bills. I mean, she's not expensive at all. So he just sort of offhand pays it, but we work together for the dog because he's expensive. For entertainment, Netflix, I'm budgeting $30. I'm so disappointed in Netflix because when I first signed up, it was like $23, and that's for my account as well as for my someone in my family to have access to their own account too. They live across the country, but they don't do password sharing anymore. So it was $23 and now it's $29.77, and it's just unfortunate. Like I'm not happy about that. They just keep adding more to the bill. Like I'm about to actually cancel it because I only have it to watch Squid Game and Bridgerton. So I'm not even using it. It's very annoying. So for YouTube, I have YouTube Plus as well. Oops, YouTube Plus. And I have Apple Storage. So my Apple Storage, I only pay 99 cents, which is fine. So 0.99. And then YouTube, I budget 30, but it's actually $25.37. So we'll see. So that's $60.99 that I have budgeted. 60.99. That's what I have budgeted for there. I have 100 for pets. For my sinking funds slash investments, I am planning, 2,500, but I'm not going to write that yet just because You never know what happens throughout the month. Okay, so all of this total will make my total budgeted expenses. So let's see what that is. 1630 plus 60.99 plus 100 plus 189 plus 400. So that's $2,379.99 for total budgeted expenses. $2,379.99. And then I want to save 2,500. So let me see. Plus 2,500 is 4,879. Okay, so I'm expecting, with my old salary, I'm expecting a total of $4,971.97. And right now, with my budgeted expenses plus my savings, I would only be at $4,879.99. Now, again, I did get a raise, and that will reflect in my next check. So I don't know what these numbers are going to look like. I kind of hope that it goes to 2,500, just so that it's like a different number, and not just like 2,400 and like 70. That would be crazy, but you never know these days. So that is what we are looking like for the month of April. I Like I said, I've already spent money. Like, I spent so much money today alone. Like, I spent on the charcuterie. Let me just put the date down because I spent so much money. So today is the 4th, so I'm just gonna put it down now. 4/4/2025. I bought a lot of stuff. 4/4/2025, and you'll see the numbers and stuff when we have our next video. Miscellaneous. So you'll see how much it is, but it was around a total of like 150. So there's that. And one was just getting a charcuterie board. So the actual board, charcuterie wood. I'll just say charcuterie wood. And then the other one was like charcuterie, like meats, cheeses, fig jam, stuff like that. So charcuterie cuts. And this was the expensive one. I mean, the board was like 20 something dollars, but the charcuterie cuts, it was around $89, and then we left a good tip. So it came out to around 105 or so. And then I got some crackers and stuff like that. So it's looking a little pricey already, but we're still gonna try to keep it at or below 400. I'm just gonna put the dates that I'm expecting to be paid for. The other one was, is it the day after my birthday? 4/24. Let's see. Yes, I get paid the day after my birthday. 4/24/2025. And then I did get paid on 4/1/2025, and that was the interest. So I'll say HYSA interest. And again, that was $89.53. Okay. So that's where we're at. It's looking a little bit, I mean, we can only wait and see what the numbers are going to look like. But that is what we have for the month. I am so glad that you guys chose to set up your budgets with me. And I can't wait to, scribble all over it with you guys in the days to come. So I believe the next budgeting video will be like the 13th or so, the 14th maybe. So just stay tuned for that. And I hope you guys have a good weekend. And I will see you guys in the next video. So thank you guys for being here. Super excited to start this new month, to focus on our goals. I'm trying to get to a point where I can actually have a different goal, like a different financial goal. But I think I'm kind of in a rut in terms of the money that I make. I need to find, I think, a side hustle just so that I can save more, or just do something different, because I mean, there's nothing wrong with saving the same amount of money every month, right? But I'm used to having multiple streams of income, and especially with the stock market falling, and there's just a lot going on, right? I just need a little bit more safety. I'm feeling like I need some more safety. So I'm just going to keep looking into some ways to make myself feel better about that. But it's really not something that I can control, right? So I really don't know. If you guys have any suggestions, feel free to leave a comment if you rewatch this or if you're in the chat now on what you would do for a side hustle, because I am struggling. I'm actually struggling um, to think of a side hustle. And then in terms of my budget, a few last details. I'm thinking about getting rid of some stuff. Like it's getting hotter, so I don't know if I necessarily want to do hot yoga. I don't know if I want to keep Netflix. There's only so much cutting you can do, right? And it's looking like I need to increase my income because I am pretty underpaid for my position and for my knowledge base and just experience. But with the economy and with my industry being the way it is right now, there's really nothing that I can do. And so I feel so not helpless or hopeless, but just a little lost because I mean, there's not like I can make a jump and I like where I work. So I just feel really stuck. I need to find a way to make more money because it's getting to the point where life is just getting more expensive. Like bills are coming up, getting higher. Like everyone just wants to make some money. So one thing that I have been doing for my budget is on the back page, they have you reconcile the whole year. And last year, I waited until the end to actually do it because I didn't know that this page was here until I got to the end, right? So now that I know, I've been keeping track of all of my progress each month. And I think this is what's been helping me keep perspective, right? This is how I know if I'm on track with my spending, if I'm on track with my saving. And this is how I found out that I actually, in terms of overpaying in my miscellaneous spend, I'm not. So the first month, I didn't overspend at all. And it was a 3 paycheck month. And then the second month, I overspent by 194, and the third was 429. So my goal was to spend at or below $404 every month so that by December, I will have only spent around $4,800. As you guys remember, last year, I ended up spending, was it $15,000 in like overspend? It's crazy, or maybe $11,000. It's such a waste of money. Such a waste. What's 11 minus 4? Like 7,000. $7,000 spent on likely just food, to be honest. So let's see, 429.8 plus 194.33. 624. So total, we're at 624 of overspend for the first quarter. So if I divide that by 3, that really means I've spent around $208 per month. So we're actually still on track, which is crazy because in March it felt like I spent a ton. But like I said, when things don't seem like they are going to be realistic, I have started amending my budget because certain things should go into categories as opposed to just lazily being thrown into the miscellaneous category. So that's what I've been doing. And that's, I think, what's been helping me. So I have, just been keeping track here after every month is over. I don't really film that part, but maybe I'll start adding that into the videos too, because it's a good thing to look at the end. I think it's nice to see the progress. So I didn't actually add up all of these yet. I really was only focused on the other expenses to see how much I've overspent. So let's do income so far. It's been so sporadic between 3 paycheck months and my bonus, and also the interest has been bringing it up too. So it's not as steady as it used to be, but still you can expect, the 2 paychecks every 2 weeks because it is, a corporate job. So you still have that 9 to 5 structure. 7,400 plus, 7,400.63 plus 5,347.79 plus 14,374.74. So far I've made $27,123.16, which is, for the first quarter, I mean, not bad. Let's see, divided by 3, it's $9,000 on average a month. That's pretty good, especially for just a normal corporate job. You go online and you see these crazy figures. You see people who have, tech jobs. I live in Seattle. My husband as well, he's a data scientist. So the people around us make a lot of money. And I have like I said, a very normal salary. I don't make six figures. I make like 94 now after my raise, $94,500. So very, very normal salary, especially in Seattle. I can't afford my lifestyle with just my salary just because I don't have a car, I don't have kids. I really don't spend money like that. But my salary is nothing compared to there are people that I know who are making like 3 times as much as I am, 4 times as much as I am. I'm not even joking. So I just, try to keep perspective. 9,000 a month though, I'm not mad at that. Okay, so that's for that. And then for bills, I want to try to keep this steady, as steady as I can. So let's see, we're at 2005.59 plus 2439.99 plus 3029.99 24567. Okay. So we're at $7,475.57. And this actually it's kind of in my control because it's bills, right? My bills are pretty steady and they only change when I add things to categories. So I don't have to do that. I don't have to add them to the categories. So I'm just going to try to keep that steady, but there's really nothing I can do about that. We already saw this. This is still, we're in good there. No debt. And then for savings, I mean, it's already looking crazy right now. So we have 5,000 plus 2,500 plus 10,666.66. So I have saved $18,166.66, which is crazy. That's almost 20K in the first quarter. So if I divide that by 3, so on average, it's $6,055 a month saved. That's pretty good. I'm not mad at that. So yeah, we're just keeping track after every month so that, in real time, so that we can just see where we're at there. That's really all I have. I really appreciate you guys being here and hitting that like button. I'm super excited again to just go through this month with you. We're actually almost halfway. We're already almost halfway through the month, which is crazy. So that's super exciting as well. I love that we've finally gotten into spring, and I just look forward to, new beginnings, spring. And I have 2 trips coming up, 2 cabin trips, one in May with my friends from Oregon, and then one in July for my husband, my sister, and my nephew's birthdays, because they're all July babies. They're all Cancers. So we're all going to a cabin, and that's going to be super fun because we're going to go on the 4th of July. And, growing up, I've mentioned, not to get sappy, but I did not used to do things like that, especially for holidays. So super exciting for that. My sister as well, she grew up the same way I did. So we're so excited to just give my nephew that experience, just to be in the woods, be unplugged in nature in the summertime, that mountain air, just, ugh. And I'm gonna vlog, just do like a cabin tour like I always do. It's a different one this time. So I'm not going to necessarily day in the life vlog and narrate, but I will, just show you guys the cabin that we're staying at, and maybe a hike or two, just because, I like to show both sides. So the structure of keeping a budget, but also show you guys that with that structure, you can afford more spontaneity. And yeah, so I'm looking forward to that, but it's not until the first one's not until Memorial Day. And then the second one isn't until July. So we still have to get through April, and I have a really hard deliverable at work. So we just have to get through April. Once we get to my birthday, I think we'll be, ready to have a great spring slash summer. So we're just gonna keep grinding through. If you got this far in the video, leave a comment if you'd like on what your plans are for April. If you have any goals, I would love to discuss goals with you. Also, I have been really pushing out videos in the past week just because the quarter ended and a lot of things needed to be tied up. So check out those videos. Check out my last budgeting video where I basically spent 92% of my paycheck in 30 minutes. Also, check out my It Doesn't End at 10K, What to Do After You Reach 10K video. Those two have been kind of getting some traction and people are really enjoying that. So if you haven't seen that, check that out. And I, will see you guys on Sunday with a brand new video. And again, thank you for coming. And that is all. So I am going to leave you and my koala pen to it. Have a great weekend. Happy Friday. Enjoy yourselves and pat yourselves on the back for making it through another hard week.